All right, this is Commissioner French, and I'm convening the KCC's regular business meeting for Tuesday, March 23rd at 10 a.m. On today's agenda, we have 20 consent agenda items and 2 noticed items. So moving to our consent agenda, first I have received a court request to pull 2 items from the consent agenda or remove 2 items from the consent agenda. Those are items number 10 in docket number 21 AMGT 257 ETC and item number 14 in docket number 21 TRAM 162 PEN. With those items removed, commissioners, you have had an opportunity to review all the items on the proposed items on the consent agenda. I will ask at this time if you have any questions, starting with Commissioner Duffy.
I have no questions. Thank you.
And Commissioner King.
None for me either. And I will move that we approve the consent agenda.
I second Commissioner King's motion.
Okay, and for clarification, it is it's the consent agenda with those 2 items removed, correct?
Exactly. That would be the motion. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Very good. We have a motion to approve the consent agenda with the removal of items number 10 and 14. Is there any additional discussion on that motion? Hearing none, those in favor, please vote aye.
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 Aye. The motion is approved. The consent agenda items are approved with the 2 noted items removed. We will now move to our noticed items. The first notice item is in docket number 20 GIMT 387 GIT. This is an order on commission jurisdiction, and our presenter today is Mr. Phoenix Anschutz. Phoenix?
Yes, good morning, commissioners.
Morning.
On March 26, 2019, Ideatech LLC requested an order from the commission requiring Wamego Telecommunications Company to port Ideatech customers' phone numbers and ensure calls are completed between Ideatech and Wamego's customers. Ideatech claimed the Federal Telecommunications Act, Kansas statutes, and the Federal Communications Commission obligate Wamego to interconnect, provide local number porting, and complete calls to providers, including voice over internet protocol providers. I'll refer to that as VoIP for the remainder of the order. On March 29, 2019, Wamego filed a response contending Ideatech's VoIP service is an information service, not a telecommunications service, and Ideatech is not a telecommunications provider. On March 12th, the commission opened an investigation regarding evolving technology related to VoIP service providers, porting numbers for VoIP provider customers, and interconnection for VoIP providers in rural exchanges, along with other issues noted in the commission's order. Following that order, the commission ordered the parties to this docket to file briefs regarding the commission's jurisdiction over VoIP interconnection under sections 251 and 252 of the Federal Telecommunications Act. For the sake of moving this along, I will sort of just hit some of the high points of the findings of the order. Section 251 of the Federal Telecommunications Act states that telecommunications carriers have the duty to interconnect directly or indirectly with the facilities and equipment of other telecommunications carriers. This order would find that VoIP providers are not telecommunication carriers under Kansas law, and therefore VoIP providers are not entitled to connection, and the commission cannot compel interconnection between VoIP providers and local exchange carriers. Furthermore, the order would find that telecommunications carriers, including local exchange carriers, are obligated to provide number porting to interconnected VoIP providers without unreasonable delay or unreasonable procedures that have the effect of denying or delaying porting. The commission order would also find that any attempt to block, choke, reduce, or restrict traffic in any way is prohibited, and telecommunications carriers who fail to complete calls or exchange traffic shall be subject to fines and or commission interjection. That constitutes the biggest findings of the order. With that, I would recommend approval, and I will stand for questions if you have any. Full disclosure, any technical questions I probably wouldn't be able to get with you today, but I would be able to provide an answer in the future.
Thanks, Phoenix. Commissioners, you've had an opportunity to review the order. We've heard Phoenix's presentation. Do you have any questions for Phoenix? And I'll start with Commissioner Keen.
None for me, thank you.
Commissioner Duffy,
I do not. Thank you.
do I have a motion to approve this proposed order?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the order on commission jurisdiction in 20 GIMT 387 GIT. Those in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. Order is approved. Thank you, Phoenix. Next item on today's agenda is a final order in 4 dockets, 19 CLNS 3271, 3272, 3293, and 3334 CPEN. And our presenter for this item is Mr. John Myers. John?
Good morning, Commissioners. The final order before you stems from January 27th evidentiary hearing. You'll recall 2 things. One, Commissioner Keen has previously recused himself in this matter. And secondly, at the hearing, the parties had settled out all issues relating to dockets 19, 3271, and 3272. So this final order just addresses the remaining 2 dockets. This order finds that no violations of KAR 823104 occurred and therefore eliminates the fines associated with those violations, but does direct operator to test the wells or plug them as had been ordered in the penalty orders. I recommend approval of this order, and I am available for questions.
Thank you, John. Commissioner Duffy, do you have any questions?
I have no questions. Thank you.
And I also have no questions. I will say it was a tricky legal issue, but thank you, John, for your counsel on this issue. And I think the order turned out correctly in my opinion. So I would move approval of the order.
And I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second to approve the proposed order in these dockets. Is there any further discussion?
Just for me,
Oh, go ahead, Commissioner Keen.
just for me, Mr. Chairman, and of course, as Mr. Myers indicated, for the record, I am recusing in this matter. Thank you.
Very good. And that will be noted. With that recusal noted, those in favor of approving the proposed order, please vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. The order is approved. Is there any further business or comment to come before the commission this morning?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a comment. If I could, please. This past week, the FCC on March 17th adopted a framework for sharing communication outage information with state, federal, and tribal nation agencies. This has been 10 years in process. California filed this 10 years ago, and finally we do get resolution. I believe that for in the midst of a outage, as we are heading into severe weather season, that the ability to have this information, and it's outage information, it's nothing more, it's read only, will prove critical to first responders and others trying to figure out where the need is. And I don't know why this took so long. And with all the hardship that California has experienced in recent years, I cannot imagine how different it would have been had they had this information. The same goes for us here in Kansas. And so I applaud this FCC step to make this information available. It is my understanding that we are moving post haste to make sure that we are implementing this in the state of Kansas with our emergency responders, and we'll have this in place then. So that is my comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Duffy. It's an important development and appreciate the additional information and context from you on it. Is there any further business to come before the commission this morning? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and second to adjourn. Those in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.